Good morning, Zio here, and today's video is insanely late. Yeah, I'm sorry, it happens every time I work the weekends for the most part. I don't get a chance to actually sit down and do anything for that following Monday. Anyway, today we'll be diving back into World of Warcraft. We're not going into the lawsuits or anything else like that. We're talking about something else that, has cropped up. It's been something I've been, thinking about ever so often in various things and stuff, and just recently came up and again, and I figured we could talk about that. So, is World of Warcraft pay to win? Let me know what you think down below, and let's actually, I don't know, talk about it for a second and explore all the options. So grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? The crux of this entire argument revolves around what we see on the screen. It is the WoW token, right? And, for quite a long time, I always sat there and my thought was, oh, okay, alrighty then. And didn't really give much thought to it, right? It wasn't, I think, until somebody had actually said something about needing gold to buy a particular thing. I tend to hoard gold. I'm not like the richest WoW player in the world, but I know how long it can take sometimes if you're going to farm things up to have enough gold to, say, purchase a certain thing that's over 100,000 gold and all this other stuff. And it was like, I'd like to help you out, but I don't have enough gold for that. I mean, I can throw you 20,000, 50,000 even. But I kind of passively do the gold thing these days, so I'm not making as much as maybe I once did years ago. But, they were like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just buy a few WoW tokens. I'm like, huh. Okay. So, what exactly is the WoW token? Let's get into it, right? My story aside, and somebody's going to comment, you may contact bottom mount or BOE, whoop-de-damn-do, it's not pay to win. Let's actually get into it and take a look at things, shall we? So, back in 2015, World of Warcraft, I think it was 2015, introduced this WoW token, right? So WoW was trying to combat this thing where you have third-party gold sellers out there, and it's in the TOS, you can't buy gold from them and all this other stuff. So Blizzard decided this was their thing, right? They're going to introduce this gold, or this token. This token is about $20. An actual subscription, if paid monthly, was $14.99, still is, plus tax now. So it's more like 16 something in my states, something like that. We've got a 10% tax. Anyway, but yeah, so it was designed to allow people to pay for token and then sell that token, and then that token would go for a price that is supposedly, if I remember correctly, the way the price is determined is based on sales of the token, so it can go up and down anywhere from, I think the last time I looked at it, they were like 170 some thousand gold a pop, right? But also I remember them at one point being anywhere in the higher 300,000s at one point in time as well. So different things have changed that market, and it's not something you can just put up and do. Blizzard itself has a system set up to generate how much these tokens cost. So it's not like you can just put it on the auction house and say, well, I'm going to sell this for $1 million. No, that's not how that works. Blizzard completely has all control over the sell of that token and how much it's going to cost to purchase said token. So the whole point to this, for the most part, was two-pronged, right? It gave people the ability to buy gold without, well, technically with real money, right, without going through a third-party seller. It also gave people who can't afford to pay for a subscription each month, if they really, really wanted to and was really good at the grind game and, getting gold and auction house and stuff, the ability to pay for game time without actually using real money. So, it kind of a win-win, right? And of course, several years down the road, the economy is completely wrecked in World of Warcraft. So horribly wrecked, and all this other stuff as a result to this. So there is a downside to having it. Which of course brings us to our argument today: is World of Warcraft pay to win? And I've been hearing different arguments from different sides. You've got people who say yes, absolutely. You've got other people going with, like what I said earlier, is like, oh my god, they bought them out on the auction house. Ooh, so pay to win. Completely missing the argument of the other side. And if that doesn't, let you know exactly where I am on this at this point, I'll spell it out eventually. But this seems to be where we are right now. For the players who are still there playing this game, we've got this argument going back and forth, right? And then somebody said something, in this comment section, as they were, as I was in said comment section, right? And I had mentioned something about it, and they said buying the WoW token and getting gold and paying for a thing doesn't make you unbeatable. Get me coffee. Anyway, so my next thing is unbeatable. What? Who has made that argument? And the worst part is, I'm sure somebody out there did, right? Somebody actually made the argument that it is pay to win because it gives you an unbeatable advantage somehow. Or it makes you unbeatable or something like that. And, just like, no, nobody is making that argument. Out of the circles that I have looked into on this and stuff, I actually have not realistically seen one person make that argument that a WoW, by purchasing WoW tokens, selling it for gold, and then paying for certain services in game, has ever made anybody unbeatable. Now, what is the actual argument? So since we've established that is not the argument, what is the actual argument? So here it is. You purchase a WoW token. You then sell said WoW tokens. Then somebody is offering runs and stuff. And since I hadn't actually looked for articles of this until I sat down and was like, I wonder, has anybody written anything about this? And then I got this from GameSpot come up from August 5th, and I'm like, oh, I guess it did somewhere hit an article at some point. But, this image right here, whoever did this, from Reddit, from WoW's Reddit, because I apparently missed that when I was going through the Reddit, kind of lays it out right here. You spend real money, you buy token, then you purchase from players Mythic Plus carries, raid carries, arena carries, in-game items, etc. Because the argument that was labeled against me, right? Because, I had said something about them being completely disingenuous and, poisoning the well because of how they came into it, right? Taking something I said and, came up with that ridiculous thing about, oh my gosh, they bought them out, whoop-de-damn-do kind of deal. And I was like, do you even know what is actually going on? And that's when they replied with the unbeatable thing, and I scratched my head and was like, who's making that argument? I feel like I need to do this now to dispel that. I guess that bit of the argument. But no, see, the problem is people are paying for these things from other players who are capitalizing on it. So if WoW tokens are, say, 179,000 gold at the time, they're, offering carries at 195,000 gold for the carry. And this is actually happening, and it is, quite frankly, ruining the game in various aspects. And, one of the things that they, of course, had mentioned to me was, like, it's not like they're able to go and buy, PvP items and raid items and all this other stuff and things with it. Therefore, WoW token does not equal pay to win. That's the problem. It does, actually. It does actually equate to paying for those items. If you look at a lot of these things when they're advertising for their Mythic Plus carries or their raid carries, they put in there that, items are, you get items, they give you the ability to, it's there, they've guaranteed that you're going to get that mount that drops. that at the when the next expansion comes out is going to be put at like a 1% chance for anyone who wants to run it later in life and that sort of thing. So when they have those guaranteed mount drops, because everybody in the team has already gotten that mount, it guarantees to drop for you and all this other stuff. Aside from getting titles and achievements, among other things, you are absolutely paying for these things. You're paying for a higher arena rating, which of course will then unlock different vault things for you, because that's where we're currently at in the thing, allowing you to upgrade, your arena, your already PvP gear beyond the level you normally could have done so if you didn't pay for this service. So with that out of the way, what exactly is pay to win? I guess we probably should have started with that. What is pay to win? So traditionally, a pay-to-win system is there's an item, you buy it with real money, you gain advantage in the game. You may not be invincible, you may be really close to unbeatable for a good chunk of things, depending on who you're playing against, because I've played against people who have store-bought items, who have the pay-to-win set and things like that, and with enough thinking and foresight and knowledge of said game, you can quite frankly overcome them. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it can be done. And I've done that myself personally on several games out there in the past where, they've got these huge pay to win mechanics. And of course, people are paying for the pay to win, and I'm the poor guy who can't afford it. And I'm like, well, I'm still going to try and enjoy this game. How do I beat them? And go through and do weird things and wacky things to manipulate things to the point that it gives me enough an advantage to where I can actually take these people out. And I'm sure other people have done the same throughout the years. And that's more of your traditional pay-to-win thing, right? You purchase item for real money, you're immediately given a boost. And while it's not exactly as direct, of course, you pay for token then gets transferred into gold, you then pay people gold to get you places that you normally couldn't do on your own or in your own guild or whatever it is, because they can't get past this particular mythic or this particular part of the raid or whatnot, and you just go ahead and get yourself a boost, a carry of some kind to get to a place that you normally couldn't get, also attaining items, equipment, titles, achievements that you normally wouldn't be able to get. And in my opinion, that is kind of a pay-to-win mechanic. It may not have been intentionally put there for that. We went over, of course, the reasons why this token became a thing to begin with, but at the same time, over time, people have realized if you advertise a service that's around the same price of these WoW tokens, it will it guarantees almost a better return on you actually getting people to pay for said token and then pay you the gold that they've received for said token for you to run through a thing with them and carry them along. And as a result, that has kind of broken very aspects of the game, right? Word that I can't say, apparently. Aspects of the game. Like I've said in a previous video, I'm currently not subscribed to WoW. It's not because I didn't want to be. As of right now, of course, I don't really want to with everything that's going up, but I never really explained why. One, I'm too poor. I couldn't afford the sub at the time, but two, when I could, I realized it just wasn't that fun anymore for various reasons, even though they had made some steps to bring things back, like, an actual vendor for PvP gear and stuff like that. But the last few times I did PvP and do arenas and stuff, we faced off of, against, groups that were naturally, set, but their gear was so much further beyond the rest of us because, quite frankly, they have de-ranked themselves into the system so they can bring themselves to lower areas and carry somebody. You can tell who the carries are, right? Because they're the ones that you can actually do something about for the most part. And who isn't, like that Guardian druid who had the ball in the center of the arena, who had so much HP and could never be brought down to even half health, let alone 75% health, with with the druid healing him and stuff. And yeah, I might be a little salty about that. But at the same time, it also made me decide to set up a Guardian spec just specifically for that particular battleground. And it works fucking amazing. Anyway, as long as you've got somebody healing you, you are good to go. Even with the diminishing effects of things and stuff and the increase in damage and things. Anyway, point is, yeah, in my opinion, this, of course, is WoW having a pay-to-win thing in their system. It's just another thing that is sort of broken, and it didn't start out that way, of course. Over the years, it became a thing. And it's probably not going to be something they'll ever get rid of, because I guarantee this makes way more money than store mounts does, just doing this right here, because people are constantly paying for it. But yeah, Ballad of a Level Boost. Should watch that. I don't know what it is, but it sounds interesting. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's about it. What do you think? Does WoW have a pay-to-win mechanic? If you want to disagree with me, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. I think they do. And let me know down in the comments below. Talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.